Hi guys, welcome to Buzz on Relufe TV, where we talk about trending topics going on the streets of social media, especially that X. How are you going? My name is Gina and you're about to have a beautiful gossip experience. Today on Buzz Zone, a lady went to change her phone and she almost got implicated with the attendant she met at the store. So apparently, you know how it works in Lagos. When you take your phone to the store to change it, they keep checking everything just to see what is working and what's not working, right? So I think she just got carried away and left the guy with her phone and probably walked away. And so the guy had the mind to transfer some of her private pictures on her phone to his phone. So the lady came back and said they did not agree on price, so she left with her phone. Few days later, the attendant in question is messaging the lady with another number, trying to blackmail her with the private pictures of her that he has. And this is where I call a smart woman. Let me call it woman in tech, because I don't know how, but she immediately knew that it was the attendant that had her pictures. So she did not argue with him. She didn't even, I don't think she replied the message. All she did was send him another message with another number to his own original WhatsApp number, telling him that she wants to buy a phone. So of course, who doesn't want to make sales? Everybody likes money. The man was happy and she asked that he does delivery. So he came to meet her at the location they had agreed. And guess what? Baby girl had arranged some men to beat the hell out of the attendant. So, I mean, jungle justice was served, and after that, they handed the guy over to the police. I've had people talk on Twitter about how, oh, that's not fair, that was not smart of you, you don't have the right, you shouldn't do that, you should have just given him to the police and then sue him, you know, many talks. And I'm like, if it's your own turn, wait for police. I mean, that's what she's supposed to have done, but sometimes it's good to make these things juicy. If she had gone straight to the police, I don't think catching them would have been that fast. And sometimes you need to beat senses into some people's head just so they can think correctly. I'm not a party to jungle justice, but this particular justice, I think it was good. Now let's talk about the woman. Why do you have your private pictures on your phone? I mean, you are well aware that you want to go and change the phone and you still have your private pictures on your phone. That's not normal. The body is yours. Anytime you want to view it, you should be able to view it at your own convenience. You don't need pictorial validation. I think that's what I'll call it. So for women that still keep their private pictures on their phone, let me know what you think. Let me know what goes in your head. Let me know why you do it. Is it that you just look at it and you're like, Omori? I don't know why you do it, but please, if you have an opinion, let me know in the comment section. Next up is Yhemolee and Oloro FT Kataife. You know Kata, Shanks, Bella, they've been doing streamer. I'm a streamer, I'm big. And so Kataife went to Yhemolee's store and I think he was shopping some stuff from there. And then he randomly just asked Yhemolee, oh, do you know Oloro? And Yhemolee is like, who's that? Like, what's that? Who's that? So, I mean, some years ago, Oloro and Yhemolee had an altercation where Oloro slapped Yhemolee because Yhemolee had previously slapped Lifurush some days ago. So I don't know why they all had that, you know, slap thing. So after this video of Kataife went viral of him asking Yhemolee if he knows Oloro, Oloro came out to talk about how he doesn't know why Yhemolee is being immature, that he has begged him twice after that incident and he thought that they have settled the matter. So he doesn't know why they are asking him if he knows him and then he's trying to deny that he doesn't know who he is and all of those things. And so it has raised a lot of things. We've been seeing videos from a few years ago where Oloro came to talk about how, yes, he slapped Yhemolee, he deserved it, he doesn't have any right to do what he did to Lifurush and the likes. And, you know, Yhemolee has even come out to say that he's going to address some things on how people keep talking about things that did not exist, how people keep lying, how people try to take food from his mouth, and so many other many things that actually that are supposed to come on. So there is a lot of bands between, I mean, it's just like a stress discrepancy that they had that they've not resolved yet. And it looks like it is coming up again and it's going to be full blown this time around. So yeah, that's it with Yhemolee, Kataife and Oloro. That's the gist. Next up, we have a lady and a guy, lover people, right? This lady is a single mother and she's been dating this guy for about 5 years. They sponsored themselves to school. She has really been supportive of the guy and it was time for them to like get settled. So they stayed together. They've been trying to just do things to get themselves settled. And then the lady's friend goes ahead to snitch on her to the guy, telling the guy that, oh, this lady is not who you think she is. You're not the only person that she's with. She goes out with older men and the likes. And now the guy has come to confront the lady, and lo and behold, he actually found some things. He was trying to check one of her phones. She smashed it just so that he doesn't have access to it. And she's saying that he's done with the relationship. He's no longer doing it again. And the lady is begging. She's seriously begging that, where do you want to go to? How are you going? It's not possible. She's crying. She's threatening to die if he doesn't, let them resolve the issue, and so many things like that. And I'm like, why do we always use hand to pour sand inside our own garri? If something is going smoothly, if you have a relationship that is going well, don't spoil it by going with someone else or going to see someone else or just being irrelevant about the situation, right? Because this was looking very good for her. A single mother meeting a loyal person. Now, it's not even a man cheating this time around. It is the lady. And you're the one that has spoiled the matter. So it's just crazy. The stories everywhere on X, and people are sharing their comments. And I personally think that the man should, I know people are going to judge me, but I personally think that the man should judge, because if we ask that man, he's not 100% free. I know he's not 100% free. He would have done one or two things in the past. And then there's this saying that you're not actually married until you are married, right? You're in a relationship with somebody, a serious relationship. You're expected to be committed and be sincere about it. But sometimes people just say, don't let your boyfriend hinder you from seeing your husband. Don't let your girlfriend hinder you from seeing your wife. I don't believe in that theory, right? But it's something that operates a lot in Nigeria, in Lagos, in the world generally. So I think that if the man should just let them have a discussion, they can meet in the middle for something you built for 4, 5 years. Where are you going to? Anyways, they'll settle their pattern by themselves. There is a disturbing video trending on X about a lady forcefully, playfully, right, trying to sit on a guy's leg. I mean, clearly the guy wasn't interested in what was happening, but from the girl's perspective, it was just like office bands, jokes. I'm not, before you come and say, oh, because I'm a woman, I'm trying to paint it not so bad, right? The video is actually disturbing because from the man's expression, he wasn't interested in anything that was happening, but the lady and her friend that was filming were just trying to make him loosen up. And so it has raised a conversation online on how this is sexual harassment. And if tables were turned and it was a man that was trying to do that to a woman, so many things that have been going on, nobody would see this video as normal and the likes. Perfect. I agree that nothing like that should happen. Nobody should be forced to do what they do not like. If you're trying to sit on someone's leg and the person is not interested, please stand up and go. You also have dignity in your own self. Be self-aware. You pride in yourself. If you don't want me to sit on your leg, I'm gonna walk away. Yeah. But then the lady was just she just kept trying and trying and trying. And I'm not comfortable with that, because you can't force anyone to do anything. It doesn't even matter, even if it's the slightest thing about eating. You can't force me to eat. You can't force me to do anything. If I'm not interested in doing it, let me be. Now, forcefully trying to sit on a man's laps that is clearly not interested. You'd see the video, the man was clearly not interested. He was really more like irritated with everything that was happening. But you're trying to tell him, oh, it's not that deep. It's not that, what happened? Are you scared? Are you scared? Don't do it. It's not allowed. It's actually harassment. In any way we want to look at it, there's no big harassment, there's no small harassment. It's not until you actually penetrate into someone that it's called harassment. That thing there is harassment. And so yes, women should also take note that you can also harass a man without actually harassing the person. Right? You don't have to remove a person's clothes and try to do all of these things where it feels like harassment. All that thing that happened in that video is actually harassment. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think it was just cruise? I don't think it was just cruise. I think it was like a deliberate action to frustrate somebody's son and just, make it look like it's cruise. In their mind, it was cruise, but it was just a very deliberate action to frustrate him. And it clearly did not sit well with him. And if you know it doesn't sit well with someone, you just let the person be. It's really not a do or die affair, honestly. Speaking of harassment, there's also a story about an LGI in Abeokuta that impregnated a corps member. Well, she got pregnant and sadly they tried to abort the pregnancy and she died in the process. The LGI is currently facing court cases. I mean, he's been sued to court, but then he was granted bail as at yesterday. And nobody deserves to die because you're trying to have pleasure. Nobody deserves to die because you're trying to kill. I don't know. The story is not nice. It's not fair. After 4 years of schooling or 5 years of schooling, you eventually go and serve and only for you to die of abortion. You die trying to kill somebody. I feel really bad for the lady that lost her life, and I hope that justice is served, because there is an angle that the story is coming from that, oh, the man is also a victim. How are we sure it's the man? Because she had like 4 witnesses that came that have said that, okay, this was the man that gave her the pregnancy and also gave her the pills that they tried to use to abort it. And so I listened to an interview from the lawyer yesterday, and she was trying to say, we cannot conclude that the man is guilty yet. The court hasn't found him guilty, of course, so until the court finds him guilty before we can say the man is guilty. But allegedly, this lady died from the pills that the man gave him to perform abortion. Call members out there, please be careful. Even ladies, everybody, just be careful with the kind of things you take. Do more preventive measures. There's something called birth control. You can use that. I think that's better than just swallowing any kind of pill that you don't know what is inside. You don't know whether it's expired. You don't know if it's original. And even if you want to go through that process, seek good medical attention. Not quacks, not chemists, not pharmacies. Go to an actual hospital and let it be done properly. So yeah, that's really sorry. And I hope that the family of the deceased get comforted. Lastly, before we go, I'll just touch briefly on the story of Baba Ijesha. About 5 years ago, he was sentenced to imprisonment because of harassment of a 14-year-old minor at that time, and he has served his jail time and is out, and he's been going from podcast to podcast to talk about his own side of the story. We'll talk about the details in Entertainment Scoop. Don't go anywhere. So, right now on Entertainment Scoop, we'll be talking in details on the Baba Ijesha story relating to Iyabo Ojo Princess, Biola Adebayo, and okay, those are the main people in this story. So, a couple of years ago, I think in 2021, Baba Ijesha was caught, right, trying to molest a 14-year-old child. That was Princess was an actress. That's her word. And so at that time, he came out now to say that it was a setup, that Princess told him that it was a movie role and he was just trying to act in character. While we can see footage of how he was trying, touching the lady's butt first, then told her to stand up, embraced her, and there were just so many things. And then he said that and nobody was with him at that time. It was just both of them there. So he has come out to say that it was a movie role, that he was implicated, that it was planned, that he was not himself, and he wasn't him, that he didn't do it on purpose. Now, in trying to defend himself, he went to Biola Adebayo's podcast to talk about all these things. So Biola, she has this podcast where she talks to people where they share their views on things that have happened to them in the past and the likes. So he was just there. Now, I think he was trying to gain more validation and to look like a saint, like he's trying to paint himself as. He now mentioned that Iyabo Ojo has left her children, that's Festus and Priscilla, in his care before. I mean, while they were still young at that time. And, that he did not like how she acted when the situation was on. Maybe she should have come out to defend him. Many things that he was saying. Let me read the statement that Iyabo Ojo put out in connection with when he mentioned her children's name. Setting the record straight. I honestly have no problem with you, Baba Ijesha, telling your side of the story. But take this as a notice to cease and desist from using my children as your cheap bait. It won't fly. My kids have always had nannies or my late mom with them, and they were never alone. At my former business place in Relufe, I had multiple staff, including stylists, sales rep, and apprentice. So it's unlikely that I'll be the one running errand. I can send a worker if needed. I'm okay with you sharing your story, but don't mislead the public with false claims about my kids. You were a senior colleague, no more to it. However, that 14-year-old child was a minor, and sexual assault is never okay. It's a crime. You should show some remorse. The court found you guilty based on evidence, so please don't drag my kids into this. Stop mentioning their names, else I will direct my counsel to serve you the appropriate papers. So here she's just trying to clear clear her children's name, clear her name out of the story of how he was never involved in staying with them, because he tried to put it as, oh, if I could take care of them. I mean, Priscilla is also was also a young lady at that time. If I could take care of her and nothing happened, so why is this different? But Iyabo Ojo has come out to state it clearly that there was never a time you had to be the one with them. If you want to say your own side of the story, say it clearly and don't implicate my children. So that's that. Also, Princess has also come out to talk about how Biola is not a good person. Why did she allow him to say those kind of things? I mean, he has served his jail time. He's out now. He should have just come to apologize and just let everything go. But he's trying to defend himself and putting so many things together. So Princess was against Biola that even all through the time that the situation was on, even while he was serving his jail time, she never for once called to ask after the girl. But now he's out. You're bringing someone else to come and make it look like they framed him and, all of those things. So the story was going back and forth, back and forth. And Biola Adebayo eventually came out to tender an apology on how she did not have any intention to make it look like he was sent to jail unjustly, that when he reached out to her, that when he came out of jail, she called and said she wanted to have an interview with him, but then he said he wasn't ready yet. But then he called her again to say that he's ready now because he wants to go to Chud and some other people to speak about it, but he wants to speak about it first on her platform. So she said all her duty was just to ask questions and then he gives the he gives the appropriate answers, right? So while they kept talking, she said she was expecting or she was thinking that he was coming to apologize. But, he just kept really going around. I mean, and there are comments that says, when he kept going around, why didn't you just tell him straight to his face that you need to apologize? And then, it's an interview. Most times it's leading questions that you ask. If I ask you what's your name, you tell me your name. I'll ask you how old are you? That's how the thing works. And all the questions she was asking and the answers he was giving, none of them were actually leading to the point where he would apologize. I actually get where she's coming from, but it was quite a whole situation. And I personally think that it's been 5-6 years now. Coming out to revisit the story was really not necessary. It has happened. It would have been better for you to come out, apologize, let people see that you are actually very remorse, you've changed, and try to get jobs here and there and just find your feet in again, rather than trying to paint a saint story and make it look like you never did anything like that and that they just try to frame you, and that's not fair. Calling names of people that are not even ready to stand by you, because calling Iyabo Ojo and her children, it would have been nice if she came out to say, oh yes, it happened, and I'm sure but she came out to say nothing like that ever happened. So why are you pouring petrol? Why pouring more petrol into the already burning fire? So that's the story of Baba Ijesha, Iyabo Ojo, Biola Adebayo, and Princess. It's a long story. It's been coming up for years now, and it just resurfaced again on the internet. And so that's the briefing that I have given you right now. So let me read some other comments that had people talking from the apology video that Biola made. Somebody said, this one no one offend anybody for the industry machine. You they explain, imagine. That's referring to Biola, the host of her podcast, right? Someone else said, very good. That interview was very disturbing and insensitive. You were convicted for the crime. Then you are coming to say something different. Why did she even agree to interview him in the first place? Well, like she said, she has come to explain that she wanted to just reach out to him just to hear his own side of the story and thought he was going to apologize and the rest. Nigerians can be useless, but even a bloody criminal has the right to a hearing. The majority of those screaming abomination are those who love and support Donald Trump. Someone else said, this dragging go long. So those are the stories. And Princess herself has, in the caption of the video that she made, she said, Biola, you are very wicked and insensitive. That's what she did. So, there are lots of other comments and I don't want to bore you with reading those ones. So I've just given you the summary of everything. So let me know what you think. Do you think Baba Ijesha coming out to repaint himself as a saint was necessary? Do you think Biola granting him the interview was uncalled for and insensitive? Let me know what you think in the comment section. That'll be all for today, and I'll see you next time. This is Buzzon on Relufe TV. My name is Regina, and I'll see you next time. Bye.